welcome to a writing vlog. Today I am starting off my morning by making some cottage cheese, green onion, cheddar muffins for breakfast. I have some lovely green onions that I have been growing on my counter from some other green onions that I'm going to use in this recipe. It's just nice before a writing session to kind of get my body woken up by listening to a podcast and just kind of doing something with my hands, and getting breakfast ready is a great excuse to do that. So while my muffins bake, I'm gonna go get ready for my day. Good morning. While my muffins were in the oven, I hopped in the shower and I'm just letting my hair air dry because that's what I typically do. The plan for this morning is to squeeze in a writing session before work, but before I do that, before I sit down and enjoy the muffins I just baked, I have to deal with this mess. It's kind of embarrassing for me to show you this, but realistically, I can be a messy person and I like to have a clean surface when I sit down to write at my dining table, and it's just become a gigantic mess, mostly because I started a very long craft project. My friend Emily gifted me one of these miniature crafting room making sets for my birthday because I've always wanted to do one, but I wasn't sure if I would buy it for myself because I know they take a lot of time. And over the past 2 weeks on the weekends, I have been working on it. And I will say it's been a lot of fun making it, but it's also had its stressful moments and moments where I have had to ignore instructions and just kind of glue and tape things together. And also I accidentally crushed it at one point, but it was fine. I brought it back to life and it even, lights up. Ta-da! But now that I say this, it's not done. I have to snap this in and then it's good to go somewhere else and I can clean up all of this. Sitting down to write, I got distracted. I ended up texting my friends, also getting the rest of my breakfast ready. The muffins didn't release from the pan as cleanly as I would have liked them to, but that's okay. So for breakfast, I'm going to have one pretty much full muffin and then kind of just the rest of the muffin bits and some blueberries on the side. I was thinking about making myself a nice drink, but honestly, there's just water in this mug because I want to sit down and write with the little bit of time I have. The initial plan for this morning was to really try and get the first chapter rewrite well underway. I was hoping I could write a good majority of it, but in all reality, I only have about 20 minutes to write. I could stretch it to 30 if I really want to rush out the door, but I don't know if I'm feeling that. I just kind of want to get to it. And also, hello, if you're new here, my name is Nicole. I work a full-time job Monday to Friday. I would say it's your typical, pretty much 9 to 5 sort of deal, and outside of that I try to make videos about me working on my novels. And currently I'm working on my novel that I started in NaNoWriMo of 2023, so that was just this past fall. I've taken a very long break from it. I've done a lot of planning. I have another vlog about that, and now it's time to start writing it again. So after me already telling you that I don't have that much time to write, I still want to tell you what I am going to be writing, and that I think if this writing session goes well and if I have the energy after work today, you'll see me again very shortly writing some more. But my whole kind of thought process for working on this first chapter, sorry, I'm getting distracted and opening up in Google because I don't want to waste my time, is taking a quick look at what I wrote in Scrivener for NaNoWriMo and then pretty much rewriting the chapter as I was doing more plotting and planning out. I was wondering if the point where I started my book maybe wasn't the best, because I felt like it kind of dragged on, and then the transition in between like one location to another just didn't feel right, and I wasn't really sure if me showing the normal of my main character was adding a lot to the story. So a quick little rundown for this first chapter is my main character. She works kind of like a job in, I guess I would say, sort of related to like social media creation, but it's in a very corporate setting where they're kind of just like churning out a bunch of stuff. And she's very successful in her job, and at one point she loved it. And it's become something that's just overwhelming to her, and I think she doesn't really feel connected to it anymore. And the idea is like she gets some sort of promotion, which she doesn't really want because it's not really a promotion. It's kind of just more work that she doesn't really want to be doing for not very many other benefits. It just sounds like a lot to her, and she's already feeling like everything is a lot and she can't take it on, and that kind of causes this chain of events to start where she gets so overwhelmed by it, she leaves work early for the day, but then she comes home to discover that her boyfriend is cheating on her with her roommate slash friend, and that is just kind of like the final breaking point for her, and it starts off her deciding she needs to take a vacation and sort of escape from her everyday life. And what better way to escape everything than to run off to a cabin, which she finds an online posting for someone looking for a roommate for a cabin that's just a couple hours away from her. I'm pretty sure that this is also spurred on by a bottle of wine, and then of course the next morning she wakes up and questions why in the world is she doing this, and goes off to this cabin anyways. But that whole thing kind of always felt a little bit awkward to me, even just kind of like rambling it out. I feel like the premise is good, but what I've written, I don't know if I want to keep it. So anyways, all to tell you that I think the way I want to write this first chapter is keeping everything that already happened, but kind of starting it in the middle of her journey to the cabin, where she meets one of the characters in the book and then meets the love interest. Like a faster way of putting it is like we get to the meet cute of the story a lot quicker while also setting up the normal, and yeah, I'm excited to do that. So now I really only have 20 minutes to eat my breakfast and get out the door to work, so I'm gonna do that now. Enough talking, more typing. My timer went off. I ended up just giving myself 15 minutes, so I still had time to quickly check in with you before leaving for work. So the document says I've written 664 words, but I haven't really. It's kind of been me Frankensteining, taking pieces from my original draft and pasting them in here. But as I was skimming through the first chapter I had originally written, I discovered there's parts of it that I really like, and it does give a decent amount of kind of lead up to the actual event, but I did find the transition to still be kind of odd, so I definitely want to spend more time on it and kind of just figuring out how I can piece together a new first chapter that feels more refined and kind of gets to the action sooner. So I was attempting to write it as they were traveling to the cabin. Not sure how I feel about it. I think I definitely will come back to it this evening to work on it more, because I would really like to get this first chapter done before the writers meeting I have this week, so that I can share that I've started writing again. So yeah, there's that. I think I was hoping to make a lot more progress this morning, but that's okay. I'm just really glad I've kind of broken through the, I guess, fear of starting to write again, and I've actually just kind of told myself to just start it, see what happens, see where it goes, and not putting so many expectations on myself to make it perfect, and to just kind of have fun and to turn it into something that I would probably like to read. I'm going to head off to work now, and hopefully if I have the energy later tonight, you'll see me again and we'll do some more writing. I don't know why I did this. Bye. Good evening, much later. It's actually almost like 9:30 now, but I still want to squeeze in a little bit of writing before I kind of settle in for the evening. I'm telling myself I'm only going to do another 15 minutes, just see what I can get done and not stress myself out about it too much, because I do have some ideas I want to get down that have kind of come to me throughout the day. Yeah, I think I've decided that instead of accidentally kind of getting stuck in editing and taking pieces from my first draft, I'm just going to start a new write fresh, see what comes out, and then tomorrow will be the writing session I have in the evening with some friends. We just sit on the phone together and either chat about our writing or get some writing done. So yeah, at least I'll have a progress update for them. But I'm gonna scooch on over to my couch and get a little bit of writing in. Morning. I'm having one of those mornings where I feel like I continue to move forward with my plans for the day, and then I just keep flubbing things up a little bit. This morning is a workout morning and I woke up pretty late. I set my alarm so that I don't have any time like to, hit the snooze and then go get ready for class. But this morning I hit the snooze button because I guess I was so tired, and in my half awake state I was like, I'll just sleep some more. And then I had one of those dreams where you dream of being late for the thing that you're actually making yourself late for when you snooze. I don't know if anyone else has experienced that, but yeah. I still made it to class on time with 5 minutes to spare. I feel like I'm just extra clumsy this morning, or just kind of out of sorts. I was trying to make myself a decaf coffee. And yes, it's coffee, not tea. It's a shocker, I know. I actually do really enjoy the taste of coffee, but the caffeine really makes my heart race, so I try to avoid it. But I do enjoy the flavor, so I made myself kind of like an iced latte, and then I've got my muffins from yesterday. So that's the update for you this morning. I'm going to write down some ideas that have kind of come to me for this first chapter. The writing session last night, not the most successful, but I'm glad I still kind of tried to do something, even though I felt really resistant to writing. I was like, I feel so grumpy and tired and I don't want to do this. But I still got about 200 words in. I don't think I'll keep them. After kind of sleeping on it and walking around and also doing some reviews of my plot outline and the beat sheet, I realized that there's a lot of kind of, I don't know if you'd call them Easter eggs, but I feel like to tie into the end of the book, there's a lot of little things I want to include in this first chapter. And I know earlier I talked all about how I don't like showing the normal and yada yada. I think I'm gonna go back to it. I think I am going to go back to showing what my character's life is like, the life that she wants to leave in this first chapter. And then at the end of this first chapter, it will show her kind of embracing that escape. Second chapter, we move on to her actually going to the place. So that's the plan for now. I'll see how it goes. I was writing some things down on my phone this morning as I was trying to rush out the door. Probably also adding to me being a little bit late. I'm just gonna take what's on my phone, put it on my computer, so I'm ready for our writing session later. And that's that. That's the update from me here. Sorry, things are a little bit flustered. I think I feel a little bit flustered this morning, just feeling a bit tired and extra clumsy, but I'm gonna try to be extra careful from now on. Did I already say that while making the coffee, I totally spilt it? Because I did. And I didn't catch that on camera, but I was just like, this is why you don't try to multitask and film things at the same time while you're doing something else. But I'm gonna take a deep breath and continue on with my day. The writing session with my friends tonight was very successful. It's actually the first time the three of us are meeting. We've added on another friend to our writing group, and I think it really helped me get unstuck and out of my head, because really when it comes to like writing in the past couple of days and trying to get back into it, my head has felt so messy, as you can probably tell by the clips you just watched, and I don't think I've been giving myself enough time to like sit down and write. I was saying to them that it felt like I was trying to take the NaNoWriMo approach of writing, getting back into writing, by just like trying to get as many words out as I could in the amount of time that I have, which just isn't working because I'm trying to make something a little bit more refined in a sense. Tonight, while talking to my friends, I realized that maybe it would help me kind of figure out what I wanted to write if I wrote down on a piece of paper the things I wanted to occur in the first chapter, ditching the idea of how I wanted it to happen. And it kind of just came to me that like, well, the main thing that I want to happen in this first chapter is my main character and the love interest finally getting to meet, having their meet cute moment, and the events that lead up to that, like the relevant events. And I just started writing that, and I got to share what I was writing with my friends, tell them what I was working on, and it was really nice. I was able to write about 1,100 words, which I'm quite surprised at, and they're not perfect, but they're there, and I feel like there's something I can mold into more of the first chapter, so I'm just excited to write more. And getting to talk to them was a really good reminder that I don't have to rush things. In all honesty, I thought I could get this whole first chapter out in the very first morning that I sat down to write, because I wanted to have the full first chapter done in this writing vlog, but it looks like that's not going to happen. But I still want to continue working on it over the next couple of weeks and trying to keep you updated. Overall, I'm just feeling a lot more confident about the direction I want to take with this first chapter and going forward. So I've made the plan, by the time we have our next writing session, to have the first chapter done / redone, and to also make out that chapter by chapter plan, so I have a clear roadmap of where I want to go outside of my beat sheet and outside of my plot outline. But I think I'm gonna end this writing vlog off here. I'm sorry it was kind of scattered and a bit chaotic, at least that's how it felt to me, and there wasn't too much writing, but there was a good amount of writing at the end. And yeah, just a realistic look at me trying to get back into writing after not having worked on my novel in a while, and I'm feeling motivated to continue writing and to continue working on it and to take you along with me as I go. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave me a like if you enjoyed this video, and if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe so you're notified of when I post my next video, and for more writing updates along the way. Hopefully they are not as messy as this vlog feels. So thank you so much for watching and for spending some time with me, and I will see you again soon. Bye!